From our Chicago studios, this is the Muslim News on Muslim Network TV. Assalamu alaikum, I'm Samana Siddiqui. Our top story tonight. The Council on American Islamic Relations, or CAIR, is calling on Americans of all faiths and backgrounds to urge their members of Congress to oppose President Donald Trump's plan to take over Gaza and forcibly remove Palestinians from their homeland. Trump made the comments calling for a U.S. occupation of the region yesterday at the White House, sitting alongside visiting Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. In a statement, CAIR National Executive Director Nihad Awad said, Gaza belongs to the Palestinian people, not the United States, and President Trump's call to displace Palestinians from their land, either temporarily or permanently, is an absolute non-starter. If the Palestinian people were ever somehow forcibly expelled from Gaza, this crime against humanity would complete the Israeli genocide of the Palestinians on their own land. The American Jewish Committee also voiced concern Wednesday over Trump's proposal. World leaders are reacting strongly to President Donald Trump's proposal to take over Gaza and relocate the Palestinians. Speaking alongside Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, Trump said the U.S. would clear debris, dismantle weapons, and rebuild the area to create jobs and housing. Trump has previously threatened to take over Greenland and the Panama Canal as well. UN Special Rapporteur Francesca Albanese called his plan unlawful and immoral, as well as a violation of international law. Hamas called the proposal a recipe for chaos and vowed resistance. Senior Hamas official Sami Abu Zuhri said the people of Gaza will not allow such plans to pass. Saudi Arabia firmly rejected any attempt to remove Palestinians, insisting on the establishment of a Palestinian state before it agrees to normalize ties with Israel. Russia opposed forced displacement and collective punishment of the Palestinian people. China urged a return to peace talks, and Turkey called Trump's remarks unacceptable. France, the UK, Brazil, and Australia reaffirmed their support for a two-state solution. Amnesty International warned forcing Palestinians out of Gaza would be tantamount to their destruction. Meanwhile, Israel's government and public largely support Trump's idea. A recent poll shows 80% of Israelis back the forced displacement of Palestinians. Israel's genocide in Gaza has killed more than 61,700 Palestinians, according to a revised toll by the Gaza Government Media Office. As well, thousands of missing people are now presumed dead.
The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site, level the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings, level it out, create an economic development that will supply unlimited numbers of jobs and housing for the people of...
It's unlawful, immoral, and irresponsible. It's completely irresponsible because it will make the regional crisis even worse. And I truly hope that people will stay calm, will not panic, and will remember that the international community is made of 193 states. And this is the time to give the US what it has been looking for: isolation.
Several U.S. lawmakers have strongly condemned President Donald Trump's proposal to relocate Palestinians from Gaza. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham publicly opposed Trump's plan to send U.S. troops to the region. It was the most important Republican opposition to the plan yet. Graham is considered one of the closest allies of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in the Senate. Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib, the first Palestinian-American woman in Congress, called Trump's plan fanatical and accused him of supporting ethnic cleansing. She urged her colleagues backing a two-state solution to speak up. Senator Chris Murphy warned the plan could lead to a disastrous U.S. war in Gaza. Like Tlaib, Senator Chris Van Hollen called it ethnic cleansing. The group warned that forced expulsion would spark global conflict and damage America's reputation. Hundreds gathered outside the U.S. Treasury in Washington, D.C., protesting Elon Musk's influence over the government. Protesters chanted, "Elon Musk has got to go," and held signs condemning his influence. Led by Democratic lawmakers, the protest erupted after reports claimed Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, accessed sensitive government databases, including Social Security data. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer warned that Musk is taking our privacy and dollars behind closed doors. Senator Chris Van Hollen called it the most corrupt bargain in history, accusing Musk of funding Trump's campaign in exchange for control over key government systems. Schumer and House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries have introduced the Stop the Steal bill to block what they call Musk's unlawful interference in government operations. For the first time ever, the CIA has offered buyouts to its entire workforce. Employees can quit and receive around 8 months of pay and benefits. The move aligns with President Donald Trump's push to shrink the federal government. Officials say the program is meant to refocus the CIA on national security priorities, but some believe the move aims to shift the CIA's focus from intelligence analysis to covert operations. The Trump administration is planning mass layoffs across federal agencies. Workers who do not accept the buyout may face job cuts soon. The deadline to accept the package is Thursday, with layoffs expected shortly after. Unions have advised employees not to accept the offer. FBI agents have sued the Department of Justice. This is to stop the alleged blacklisting of those who worked on cases related to the January 6, 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol, as well as classified documents linked to President Donald Trump. The lawsuit follows Trump's return to office, the resignation of Special Counsel Jack Smith, and the pardoning of nearly 1,500 convicted in the January 6 attack. The lawsuit claims that nearly 6,000 FBI employees were identified and targeted for retribution at Trump's request. It alleges that Acting Attorney General James McHenry and DOJ officials are retaliating by surveying agents about their involvement, potentially leading to terminations, demotions, or job denials. Agents also fear their names could be exposed, endangering them and their families. The FBI's union has filed a separate request for a restraining order to prevent the DOJ from releasing more names. Agents argue the move violates civil service protections. Trump withdraws U.S. from UN Human Rights Council. Details after the break, so stay tuned, and we'll be right back. President Donald Trump has withdrawn the U.S. from the United Nations Human Rights Council. In an executive order, he also slashed future funding to the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees, or UNRWA. Funding was suspended in 2024 under the Biden administration, but later reinstated. Last October, the Israeli parliament passed 2 laws calling for ending UNRWA's operations and prohibiting Israeli authorities from having any contact with the agency. In his first term as president, Trump pulled the U.S. out of the human rights body, which Republican lawmakers criticized for alleged bias against Israel. A White House fact sheet circulated by Politico claims the Rights Council has not fulfilled its purpose and continues to be used as a protective body for countries committing horrific human rights violations. The Trump administration has begun deporting migrants to the Guantanamo Bay naval base in Cuba. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem said Guantanamo Bay will hold what she called the worst of the worst. Last week, President Donald Trump ordered the construction of a detention camp at Guantanamo Bay to house up to 30,000 migrants accused of crimes. He claimed they are the worst criminal illegal aliens threatening the American people. The risk of a government shutdown is rising as President Donald Trump clashes with Democrats and Republicans struggling with internal divisions. With a March 14th deadline, lawmakers have yet to agree on federal funding levels. Democrats blame Trump's executive actions, including attempts to freeze allocated funds, for deepening the impasse. Senate funding bills are bipartisan, but House Republicans are pushing for spending cuts and policy riders that Democrats call poison pills. Trump insists he has a mandate to push his agenda without compromise, despite needing Democratic support for any funding bill. His claim of power to withhold approved funds has further enraged Democrats. With no agreement in sight, fears of a shutdown are mounting. Texas lawmaker Brandon Gill has ignited controversy by demanding the deportation of Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, who is a U.S. citizen. Gill, a Republican from Texas's 26th district, claimed on social media that America would be a better place if Omar were sent back to Somalia. His comments came after a video surfaced of Omar addressing Somali immigrants. In the video, she provides guidance on their legal rights, particularly in situations involving U.S. immigration and customs enforcement. She also highlights the importance of the Fifth Amendment, which grants individuals the right to remain silent during encounters with law enforcement. Gill's office defended his comments, questioning Omar's loyalty to the U.S. over what he called illegal aliens from Somalia. This is not the first time Omar has faced such attacks. Last year, a mistranslated clip of her speech led to similar calls for her deportation, supported by Republican Marjorie Taylor Greene. Tech billionaire Elon Musk has also accused Omar of breaking the law. Omar, the first Somali American to serve in the U.S. Congress, has firmly rejected these claims. She says educating immigrants about their legal rights is not illegal. The World Health Organization, or WHO, has expressed its concerns over attacks targeting hospitals in Sudan, calling for the protection of healthcare facilities. WHO Director General Tedros Ghebreyesus said on X that 7 people have been killed and 37 others injured in an attack near a No hospital recently. Sudan's health ministry reported the Paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, or RSF, carried out an artillery attack on the hospital in the Omdurman area west of the capital, Khartoum. Emphasizing the immense suffering of the Sudanese people, Ghebreyesus urged an immediate ceasefire and the protection of healthcare facilities. Since April 2023, clashes have been ongoing between the Sudanese army and the RSF due to disputes over military reform and integration. Pakistan observed Kashmir Solidarity Day today. It reaffirmed its diplomatic and moral support for Kashmir's right to self-determination movement. Thousands participated in rallies, human chains, and protests across the country, calling for Kashmir's right to self-determination, which is guaranteed by the UN Security Council. A major rally took place in the capital, Islamabad, which was attended by government officials, lawmakers, and Kashmiri leaders. Similar events were held in major cities, including Karachi, Lahore, and Peshawar. President Asif Ali Zardari and Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif pledged continued support for Kashmiri's struggle, urging a resolution of the long-standing dispute. Kashmir remains a contentious issue between India and Pakistan, with both countries claiming the region in full. Tensions escalated after India revoked Kashmir's semi-autonomous status in 2019. Aga Khan, the spiritual leader of Ismaili Shia Muslims, has died in Portugal's capital, Lisbon. He was 88. Karim al-Husseini, as he was known, led the Ismaili community for more than 6 decades. His successor will be named soon following Ismaili tradition. Born in Geneva in 1936, he spent his early years in Kenya and later studied at Harvard University. He became the Aga Khan at 20 after his grandfather's death in 1957. Known for his philanthropy, he promoted Islamic culture and development worldwide. His foundation, which is based in Switzerland, supports healthcare, education, and rural development in more than 30 countries. Despite his lavish lifestyle, al-Husseini was known as a bridge builder between Muslim societies and the West. He is survived by 3 sons, a daughter, and grandchildren. That's all from our Chicago studios tonight. Thank you for watching Muslim News. We are a community channel dedicated to bringing you stories you can trust. Please like, share, and subscribe to our content. You can also comment to let us know what you think of our coverage. Please donate now by visiting muslimnetwork.tv/donate. For more content, keep watching Muslim Network TV. Salam.